That's where the Breach Sovacom is significantly better.
You can see that A control given up, and nobody watching onto the high ground angle. Texture back in a way, still flashed up. Won't be able to get too much done here. And Gen G not able to flood defense in time. Smokes up. Might be looking for a bit of a contact play, but a call for the pause is made by Sen. They're just going to wait this one out for the util. Still holding it down. Go spam it away. Still adjustment from Sassy. It's good. Leaves it just down to Meteor. 1v3 here for our pistol. Can he do it? First obstacle removed. Plenty more where that came from though. Revealed up just in the last few minutes. Reloads off. Turret up. Catches one of the contacts, but Sentinels not willing to give them too much of a fight here. Sassy's so wide out into the open. 14 HP. Turret still up. Tens us to break this one. The single shot will do it! Meteor delivers it!
Well, there's a reason that this guy was the MVP.
Yeah. Off in the green room, you know, we're talking about how good this Gen G team is when it comes to just being able to get those early advantages.
Yeah, if you want to let me nerd out for a moment there, Gen G are third best team when it comes to pistols at Champions, but they're amazing at converting bonuses. So assuming that they win this round, which Meteor is under quite a bit of pressure here.
Quite a lot, actually, overwhelming. Damage is being done to them, but it's been flooded in.
And should be all good.
And it should be, yeah. Sealed up here. Spikes drop down. Zeltis, not much chances for him. He might go around the world to farm up some orbs, but...
And so look, Meteor is going to have enough to buy up a rifle in the next round. They've got 2 Guardians, Bulldog rifle. They're the number 1 team at Champions in terms of converting these bonus rounds. In round 3, round 15, where you've won the pistol and the follow-up. And I think part of that is because they take them so seriously. They have such incredible aimers. If they have a Guardian or a Sheriff in their hands, first bullet accuracy on almost all of these guys on Gen G is remarkably good. Love seeing that flash there.
A little bit of an Easter egg, I think, of things to come.
30 seconds left.
I think he's just looking to give away his body at the final moment. I mean, he has nothing really to play for, apart from that extra ult point that he could try to get online. And to be honest, he's not too far away from getting it early on in this map.
Yeah, and spotted out and finally cleaned up here. So
no tap.
Yep, no cam, no turret to catch that contact. Now the dash is active. They missed the timing. Right behind now still. It's a bullet straight to the back. Now, potentially an opening for Sentinels. We'll attempt to slow this one down. They want to try and get rid of most of this util. There's a fault line to try and follow through Zekken. Got a lot in his face here still. Nothing to really shut them down. Meteor dodging the flash, up and away. Looking snappy and magnetic into the moment. Still a TP forward. Sentinels not to be disallowed this, but pushing through the one way. It is chaos incarnate. Down to that 1v2. Munchkin. Upgrade in hand. Now he's got to make the most of this one here. Sentinels cannot afford to throw away these player advantage situations. Not like how the pistol round got started for them. Dart is good. Spots out Munchkin now, but he's got a lot more to do. Molly at the feet. Sassy push back and away and wide. Bit of spam and straight bullets away. Gets the reload off, but there's only 6 left to him. He's got to do so much with it. Not able to, not against Sentinels there in this instance. But tagged up by the drone, you got to respect that. Back and away, it's a bait and switch though. Got to make the most of it. Meteor's back in there too, orb in their face. Not thinking about it, but as it's dropped, Meteor is just out in the open. And this slow, cautious tail that's really being told by Sen across the map. It's working dividends.
It is, but because they didn't take A long control early on in the round, and they don't have drone, it's going to be tough for them to end A here. So their choices are between B and C, and that's mostly where the Gen G defense is. There are still opportunities for this to go wrong for Sentinels. They've got time on the clock. I'm not sure that John's going to be able to re-explore this entire area confidently. He's going to give it a go, though.
There's a stack of players at Gen G, at least.
I mean, what's the chances you run into the bucket here?
Yeah, I mean, John should just be going down every day of the week, and so he does. An upgrade offered up. Handle to them. Fault line into the corner as well, but you want to go into this one with a rolling thunder. It is committed. Still as an orb and a snake bite in your face. Aftershock. Narrowly avoided. Flick of the wrist. Dodges the flash. Still, the reinforcements are here. This is the danger zone for Sentinels. You're walking straight into the maw, and it's only firepower. They're going to be able to bail yourself out. Texture can only do so much with that Sheriff in hand, and the plant has to be stuck down. Bullet spraying and praying away, but Tens. Red sight set towards it. It's a drone. Texture's ahead of this though, the fall, and he misses the flick, and there's a dash into his face. How the hell do you avoid this? You don't! It's all supplemented. TP up into heaven. Tens is there for the backstab just in case, but Sassy was the one to clean it all up. And now You're just looking at a save.
That's so lovely. I mean, that's a wonderful play over towards Hay there. Adding the Soverall into the back of it too. Texture had an opportunity, but it was a tough flick to be able to get onto Zek, and he does the reverse peek, crossing over the bricks early. He is often good for those. His aim's pretty spectacular with the op, but this time, Sen come out on top, and Zekan's got that killer instinct just to rush him down early.
Yeah, they are not scared, are they?
I was talking about how, you know, not fully convinced yet at the way that Sentinels are approaching the attack side, despite the fact that they've been good so far with rifles in hand. But if I'm looking at just the teamwork, coordination, their rifle aim, everything's looking very clean right now for Sen. And that A-take inspired a lot of confidence in me.
We're going to potentially lift even a trophy, but maybe getting ahead of ourselves here. It's only day one, and it's only the first match. Tens punishing the peak there. At least the all pick up onto Munchkin. McCage up as well, covering the back of Tens.
So this is that Viper Wall I was talking about. It's designed for A-long control, but they couldn't control the Tens teleports. Very cool anti there, I think, based on where they saw the Viper Wall.
Karon, he wants to press forwards. He spots the barrel. He knows that there's a kill to be found. Will claim it. Double peak is up, and the trade in sights here for Sentinels. Seekers, considered by Lackey, are now offloaded here just for that extra information, but Sentinels are still working with about a minute on the clock here. They can afford to just slow it all the way down, but Meteor, again, the risks have to be taken. He's the one pushed past and forwards most of his util, and he needs to find a kill from it.
Surely he has a free one on Tens.
Backs to it. He's watching the wrong angle, but yeah, Tens unaware. That could potentially be crossed up here. Sentinels going for that quick reaction now. Full speed ahead over towards the C site.
And without Munchkin alive, no Viper Orb, C becomes much easier to hit. But there's always going to be that lockdown coming from Garage. How do you... not Garage, coming from...
Whoa.
What is that kind of placement? Just to make sure that it doesn't get contested?
I mean, Sentinel's going to be pushed all the way up onto site here. They can't actually fall back into the long angle flash. Just about dodge here. Second has dropped. This is disjointed here by Sentinels. The aftershock has to get used now. Meteor wrapping behind. And a coordinated attempt. It works to full fruition. Gen G. Beautiful work.
What value from the lockdown as well.
Yeah.
I can't say that I've really seen too many people popping it down there to go for the C retake. I was also watching...
Keep TP though. Lackey side by side. Him and Karon not ready for that one, are they? Zekan just catches one to the temple. Forced to back away. Texture's wondering which way to look.
You see that Tens went for the same teleport again. So every time the Viper Wall's been in this spot, Tens has tried to TP into this cubby. But this time, Munchkin wasn't just sat there in the open picking up an ult orb. They actually fought.
Scout destroyed.
Slow and steady. This time Gen G not needing to take too many risky plays, wandering forwards here. The pit is going to be dropped at the minute mark. This is lovely. Supplements the defense.
But it also stops you getting any further info. I say that, but actually Karon, having gone on top here, is still going to be able to get info down short. So it keeps two players A on the defense side, but I think Sen are going to struggle to get through that.
They really are.
What are your options now? You haven't gone Garage, you haven't broken the Killjoy utility.
Well, Meteor, he's going walkabouts here. Oh my, almost time for the peak there. Yeah, almost there with a punish still. Drone's going to be used to clear through into mid. Sentinels have only got 30 seconds to really work with into this one. Again with that player disadvantage. Tens TP up top and away. And he spotted these players completely unaware. Gen G still lacking. He's got to get a handle onto most of this one. Karon pressing forward. Smokes watched for. Gen G have toppled.
That is an amazing play from Sentinels. Gen G always flood defend and try to pre-take over towards B. Zelsis tapped that knowing it was coming. I mean, he knew with 100% confidence that they were about to push through that smoke. Hard red.
To the smokes, aftershock as well. Nobody's going to be able to press their way forwards and past it, but Tens does get dropped. That's spam, I believe, coming out through the smoke. Trailblazer spotting it. Paranoia rolling front out for the back. Nobody's watching this one. Second, he's going to be dropped here, trying to fight for the site control. It's all over the place. Sentinels gone completely unaware, and a spray down transfer just does not connect. Everybody falls once more. This time, it's Sentinels drifting back to that spectator seat, and Gen G maybe one step closer to making it equalized at the half. Munchkin trying to stop this one as well. Another B attempt and push in, spots the player, spamming away. Somebody's to cover this one down and below. Stunned up, matters not. Second, just walking straight into this one. Still Karon is out and away! Karon delivers it side by side, him and Lakia. They push back any aggressors. And the spike drop down into no man's land. There are no chances left for Sassy.
Another spot where you feel like a Gen G player's caught dead to rights, being double swung essentially. And the leader in terms of any Rookie of the Year awards pulls it out again, a 2K. Just a slight wiggle of the movement too to shake off a few bullets.
Yeah.
Watching Karen is a delight.
This guy is so damn impressive, and he's even the one to finish it. Them held. Up angle, Meteor's caught on the cross though. Trying to wade his way past that one. That's a leg shot. JungQT barely surviving Seekers, pushing forwards. Lakia smelling that blood in the water. He definitely wanted to hunt that one out. So it's equalized 4 versus 4, and it causes that reaction now out of Sentinels, but they're going to be walking again. It's a Paranoia, it's an Nanoswarm, it's an orb up in their face. Sentinels really don't have too many options here, but they're calling for the pause.
They have to go for the C-exec once the orb goes down, but this just becomes so obvious.
Yeah, and again, the players are meeting their match. It's Gen G happily able to just try and fight this one. Forwards, Hunter's Fury, though. That was the extra element needed. Lakia right from behind. Texture follows up with a shot, and still got to deal with these players. 2v2 now. 36 seconds left. Not enough with the offset of the movement. Lakia will be dropped. Texture 3 HP.
30 seconds left.
Looking this way, that way, head on a swivel, doesn't know which way to look. It's an impossibility almost at this point, but at least the spike isn't down. It's the one thing working for him, but the weaponry is not. Plant from Zelsis stuck, committed, needs to be held out here.
Planted.
Weak players all around. It's all about this first shot that lands. Finally, needs a second one. Dash now active, doesn't know where he is, and it's wrapped all the way round! Texture! You absolute animal!
He's such an incredible player. Walking back into the back.
They put up all the barricades. They are ready to receive every single player. Fault line over and through. Lakia inside the Cloudburst plays. Once inside of it, the wall up in their face. Sentinels cannot step past it. It's up to Sassy and more. With only 15 seconds to do it. Your options are pretty much entirely ran out. Updraft and away. Fade away with a Blade Storm. It's a flourish to finish, man. And only a few seconds remain before Gen G take this lead from first half of Haven. No time on the clock to play with. 7-5. Oh, for the reaction.
You can see there that Texture was intending to updraft onto the high ground inside that smoke. The trap stopped him. Cam sees a lot of this info, but it's only Zelsis home.
Yeah, peeking away. Just can't quite land the one shot that was necessary there. So Zelsis will push back that play that's occurring. The timing that's taken. Munchkin, oh, wide open. Right for the taking. JungQT's dropped.
So they tap B, fake C, walk in on A.
And it's an open site. Potentially a closed case, but still Sentinels, they do have that retake utility in their back pocket, just waiting for it to potentially come online. 17 seconds until the dart. Not too sure for the fault line. Dash still available. See if for Zekken in the back pocket. They're worried about these flanking players as well. Might find it difficult to get through, at least with this orb, but as soon as it goes down, you might see them take that timing. They are so concerned about these mid flanks.
Not ready yet.
And now the time to strike is here. Texture's way ahead of it, inside the smoke. Any sort of timings the Sentinels were looking to try and take, they've missed it. Already Texture still, Sassy. That's 2. They need more than that. And no one from Gen G is willing to even give him it. Ice cold from them, a tap onto the spike, no one out into the open. He has to stick it for the only win con, Gen G.
As long as Meteor stays alive.
And everybody's looking all over the place here. Still Sassy's way ahead of the rest of his team, looking to try and trade this one. Oh, Lakia is right there behind him. All the avenues watched, and everybody falls once more. It's all offloaded, concatenated, out and over the top as well. It's down to 10s to hold it, locking it down. In through the back, the reset is magnanimous. This guy will not be stopped. He denies any attempt to take that A site.
Shadows traveling.
Gen G left scrambling. They should have had that. A dash into sight, an amazing flash from Zelsis to actually push them back just a moment. And Tens recovers after immediately being blinded in the midst of that exec. He's left on the floor in a 2v4.
That's what Sentinels needed. They're holding this one steady, giving up most of the A sites. Rifles are swapped around, noise is being made. Plant not even pushed back here, so Karen will be able to get that extension into the round, and got a feel with Gen G. That's sometimes dangerous. You don't want to give them those options and opportunities. Oh, no. Karen inside the smoke, not being cleared out, dodging, weaving, TPing away, still being watched for Meteor, 1v2. Meteor cannot land it. transfer almost intact, but eventually it's Sentinels who paved the way to a victory.
And thankfully for Sentinels, all of Ten's hard work does not get discarded.
There's absolutely no way Munchkin can be blessed like this once more! He's working magic over towards the A site. We're watching a bloody repeat. He's opened it up and calls for the TP, immediate pivot. Caron, he's straight there with him. Turret broken down into mid here, but the A site is theirs. Now with Texture removing John. The mid avenue completely opened up. That uncertainty into the back of Sentinel's minds, but they want to go this one thick and fast. Playing forwards here, at least with the dart in hand, and the rifles are not doing enough. It's Sassy and Zelsis up against the world. They're not being given even an easy fight in the slightest. The movement ajar. Forced the saves. Pushing them back and away. Sentinels will be lucky to get anything. Still, Caron drop towards the back. Texture. Phantom play. And that's a 4-pin. Alien has put the squeeze onto the Sentinels player. They heard all that util. They don't know which way to look, and they can't even get the kill drips online. Full line. That's a potential team utility to just colliding and clashing into them. Hunter's Fury. It's panicked. It's offloaded. And desperation does not work out for Sentinels. Not this time. They did not know how to react to that.
Very nice pathing to bring out in a crucial round, and Texture's looking to close it.
And he's just
Only 10's left.
Right click, but followed up by Lakia. That's Meteor dashing and backing away, still with his B-side control. Texture, he's put straight past it, and in front of that fault line, still won't survive. He's with the trade there. Flash in and through, over the back, 4v4. Plant down, Norofef gives him that information, and a sight hold might be exactly what Gen G are looking to cook up. Munchkin still with that orb up in their face. Dart and a paranoia follows through, flooding back and away. Sight players cleared up, rolling thunder, committed now to the front. Sentinels have got to try and strike, at least when he irons hard, and try and find these kills. There's one, two left to deal with, finding them one after another.
Around exactly when they needed it, just as Gen G had got up to map point. And Texture's right behind it.
And that's an interesting peek. Still Zekken makes the adjustment.
There's
Snaps
the
it to the
value.
cranium, and there is the value. It had to come about through that sheer mechanical skill.
Here comes Munchkin. He's trying one of these classic A-lurks. Tens has been watching for it. He refuses to get duped again.
But there's a chance for the timings to be missed here. And which way is he going to look? Adjustment again. Mirrored plays from Tens and Zekken. Pushes Gen G back. It's just lurks and lurks. Yeah.
It's the same again. Lurk up A and lurk up C at the same time. One gets broken, the other doesn't.
Yeah. Trip broken. Meteor, he's got an open side for them.
30 seconds left.
A 3v5 though, Brent. They're not going to close out the map here, surely.
But it's Gen G. You never know with this team. They really shouldn't.
Full breach utility for Zelsis. Sassy's going to have recon coming back online, but you probably don't want to wait for it.
And there's the first Shocky. Preemptive, at least with the debt, so one of the Nana Swarms is off. Meteor finds it, still traded. Caron, that's a sweep from behind here now. The backstab, but maybe just pushing back and away. Lakia needs support and he needs help if this is even going to be doable. Flash in through the box, smoke is up in his face. That's tapping his way, that's a bit of spam to follow up. Caron, and now a lot more to do. Spike being diffused, stuck fully, and Tens there to defend him. Sentinels are still alive in this map. They're not going to be going down. How do you anchor it? Locked down. It's unconventional. Doesn't really stretch all the way out towards this A side. Sassy, drone, spots it. They're wondering if this is potentially fake pressure. Tens overstaying it, just about escaping. 50 HP though, and now it's being fully committed. The molly at the feet as well. They are separating these players, picking them apart. Nobody is allowed to anger this site. Instead of an execute, the pit drop down, man. And Tens has got to make a play. He's already found it, whipping it around. Meteor, rifle in hand, leaving it to the two. And only the Blade Storm. A rifle for John QT. They're going to need to be handed a couple of easy kills, but Meteor will not give them anything at all. Still round.
They've gone for that double sheriff approach.
And a double fight out through, straight from tiles. Does not work out in their favor. Play at disadvantage now.
Munchkin figuring out, how can I go for a lurk against this? It's a decent counter to what Munchkin was doing on the previous map, but also the fact that the wall is used so early. Generally, you want to be playing slow attack sides against the deadlock, and the wall struggles to get value.
Lakia might be considering a drone up close here. John, is that a grab net? slow down the approach here. There's a flash overhead as well, but now looking to try and anchor back and away. Sassy supplementing it. Couple of shots now fired off and wrestled in through the smoke. No punish just yet. Still dropping down low, but it all lays down now into the lap of John QT. What can he do? A lot of players now here in the drop down, skipping a hot right through, and it does set up the bait and switch. Caron happy to oblige, straight in there. Now the plant coming online.
Zelsis coming around behind as well. Are they going to think about B main when they just exec from this?
Crossfire, it should be nice. Not quite. Munchkin was the only one to actually collect any sort of B main presence. Now walking his way through, baiting, Texture, dropping back and away, Texture and Caron. These guys have been difference makers. And once more, they've got to stand to the test here. The dart is avoided and dodged to the back, and the shots just not connecting for Sassy. Only 4 HP and a dream it will just remain to be. Oh. Hoping that Gen G might just walk into it, but
yeah,
listen, they weren't born yesterday, but this team are too diligent.
It's quite a nice trap play, though, because if the cam is found over towards B, you're expecting trap plays to be run off the Cypher cam usually, and this one's off deadlock contact, so I think there's a chance that it gets value, especially considering Munchkin and Caron's positioning, but right now they're not taking an inch.
No steps forwards. Waiting it out. Making either team stew, to be honest. It's a series of unknowns going through their heads.
And as TenZ takes contact, this whole trap is going to fall to pieces.
Paranoia in his hands. He's just jiggling out with the util. Does get a good connection. 3 players going to be pushed back and away, and a TP as well for himself. Just to disengage. Grab net, calling. The play is made. Caron! You got to be joking. Just with that Sheriff in hand. Goodness me, even when the ideas are good, even when they try and go for the preemptive strike, it's
to reinforce the B site. It's super difficult to get through right now. A nice shock dart from Lakia as well, getting rid of that sonic sensor. I don't think John pulled it back in time. B looks devastatingly difficult to hit though, especially if Sassy was Odin wallbanging this, but he is rotating off.
Yeah, timing potentially missed there for Sentinels up through mid. Gen G has the makings of a B split, putting a lot of pressure and asks onto Zelsis.
Right,
so the cam covers this. Off cam contact, Sassy can spam, but it's not a great spam angle. It's good for damage, not good for kills usually.
That tags onto Zelsis. The setup is going to be dropped down and away here, walking through.
I say that.
Sassy, bit of spam damage, just through the choke point. Gen G's still going to get easy access though to that B site, so Plant will be online and inside for them second. Biding his time, hoping that somebody will just open themselves up, but as the doors drop down, Texture! You gotta be joking!
You're not allowed to do that!
There's no way! Running and gunning inside the Cloudburst. Taking names. 4v4. And too much to clear, surely. Meteor crouched up. This is unorthodox in terms of the angle, and of course it is! Rips them all away!
I don't remember enough what player development they've done too. Meteor was a bit of an all-aim, no-brain duelist player before he joined this team.
Certainly was.
Now, all of the aim and a brain to match.
Yeah, and a team as well that's just right there beside him. All on the same page. Cooking up plays together. They're aware of just any obstacles that might face them as well. You can see it just the way that they even approach rounds like this. It's against an eco round. A lot of teams will sometimes just run it straight into a site, full disrespect, but Gen G, they slow it down, they make sure that they can methodically try and pick apart what at least Sentinels are doing. If there were any concerns, I think, about Gen G potentially being shaky and home soil and a home crowd, listen, that was kind of pushed back at Shanghai when they were literally the villains. All the way through, it's an open side again over towards A.
30 seconds left.
Yeah, what incredible range of emotions that they will have experienced in their last 2 international events. Madrid, a crowd that was neutral towards them. Shanghai, a crowd that disdained them, I think. And then here, where they're the hometown.
We've done it once. First time it's been done for Pacific. That was Gen G who did it. Despite the expectations, I think most of us were probably looking towards a team like PaperX, maybe even DRX at points to be that team. But they've had a crazy story from the beginning of this year where the expectations were honestly at their lowest here, and a lot's going to be asked for again of TenZ to smoke down. What is that? Adjustment and expectation for Texture, but he's already in through the site, and the main players happy to fire through and follow up on all of it. So despite the heroics, it might not even be enough here for Sentinels. No command. Supers its way, but finally fading, and now a very deep lockdown is going to be used by Meteor. Drone broken, slide tag, double faced up and out, but just missing the shot.
Are they even going to get out?
I don't know. Detainment
All
on the
three?
three. Yeah, all three.
All three
Time to hunt.
detained?
It's time to chase.
Spike
They know
planted.
it. They can feel it. Texture. Time waits out. Oh my! Barely skirting away. It's going to be a comedic finisher around here, potentially. A punishment in sight. There's still time here for Sentinels to make a play towards this one, but second retaken, but the operator again adds another level of difficulty. It's all about how they manage this one as well. That late backstab that might be occurring from Meteor. Is it going to be caught? Zelsis sticking out onto the fuse, half already. He's brought that win con, covering for it over the shoulder. Zelsis dropping him.
There is no way
That's
the
ridiculous.
Sentinels have just won a round where all three of the retakers got detained.
Which could have been shattered.
Revealing area.
Always a way, start gassing up a team in terms of the storylines about them lifting trophies, and then watch the fumble in place. Operator held, but not the back. Still a few shots fired off as well. That drone has to be broken. Zelsis locks it down, holds the line, and now evacuates back and away. An adjustment, but bullet straight through the wall, and spam from the Odin will supplement all.
One enemy
That is it. Sentinels,
Spike down,
complete
B.
control of this B site. Spike dropped down, and with the trip, alerting them exactly to where Munchkin's presence is. It's another round that's inevitable here for Sentinels, and at least that second one, Justin Flick missed, at least with the op.
It is inevitable.
It should be. Unless you give him the ones, we're blinded up. Tens, this will push him back. It needs to be broken by the rifle fire, but it's not done in time, and almost a punishment there. It was an over the top with the knife, almost getting that suppression off. He wouldn't have been able to escape.
Look at this deep trip, though. The trip is not where that shock dart just went for it. It's all the way close towards mid. Almost right where Meteor's back was.
Yeah, so Lackey's shock darts that he's fired off, offloaded into mid. Not going to be getting too much value. Tens has to use the TPs, barely out of dodge. Annihilation, there's a connection. Molly down and
That's
through.
the spike.
Texture has to drop them. He's through and out. They're going to try and flood themselves in. Gen.G happy to fight them straight back at you. Second, Bladestorm now increasing that tempo and even offered up a rifle. Charon now with the plant. 2v3. Dart fired off. No reveals in sight, but jumps round and through and away with a right click. Second, he's on his way to an ace. But Lackey in his back pocket, at least with that Hunter's Fury, he's got that backup plan and policy. Charon still going to be nested up, holding deep tucked onto the A side. It's a difficult player to try and clear. And Sentinels now making a call to double up. They don't have a dart. It's 20 seconds until that arrives, and it's going to be too late if they try and wait this one out and through. Time already ticking. Smoke is just mind games from Charon, making them spam away, and they got to stick this one here, and they still haven't found it. Win cons are just dashed away to the win. Time.
Next round, where Munchkin, I think, is the player to watch here. That null command is spectacularly powerful against Sentinel's composition. And you see here that John has put his stuns on the exact opposite side of the map.
I'm hoping if the ult does get ripped off out towards the A site, they'll be able to at least play around, like you said, the sensors, the stuns.
In some sense, Zelsis is the bait here. He kind of wants to be seen, be shown, and then you run into A and forget about the deadlock util.
Right here.
Knife over the top.
Revealing area.
Tag out through main darts. Meteor barely alive. Dyson with death there, buddy. Drop down to 8 health. Will be able to survive though, and now regroup with the rest of his team.
A split, null command. Watch out for these sensors.
Yeah. The pressure's going to be on immediately. What have they got to even answer this? Flash clear. Cam over the top here. No command as well as the dart. Does reveal all. Both players, in fact. Tens and Zelsis, the position is noted, recognized, stunned up, but there's no follow-up. Tens, he can't take these easy fights. He's worried about it. He's swung from main as well, picked it apart. I mean, methodical is what you call that. Gen.G, there was no easy access, no fair fight to be taken for the anchoring players. Dodging and weaving the entire way through.
The Gen.G protocols on the attack, when they hit the A site, they're magnificent. They're always guns out, not scaling too deep into the site, holding, waiting for that peek from the defender, holding heaven, waiting for the backup to arrive. You know, making sure that they're not caught in transition, running forward, trying to rush things.
It's the little jiggles of movement, just trying to bait them out, and it just makes the anchoring players feel so alone.
Yeah. You don't know if someone's going to run at you from left side, from right side Jenny. You don't know if someone's going to run at you from Dice. And the whole time, Genji are actually just making you afraid, making you swing, and then ready to punish you. It's really excellent stuff. All the best teams in the world are going to have some level of that approach to the A site, but Genji looking perfect with it.
Early paranoia lets him take that control out towards A. Tens in through Wine. He's in danger though. Has to dodge and around way. Can't survive it. Karen out the back. John QT. That's a bullet to the brain. With him dropped off now, there's possibilities and options are now opening themselves here for Sentinels. The barrier mesh not to be broken. Doesn't even stop the bullets as well. Still with those sight lines just being set by these Sentinels players. Zeken's got it.
Great adaptation from Sen. Surely Genji can't recover it.
There's no way.
I mean, John is stuck here.
They know where he is. There's a Nano swarm to try and clear him out of that corner.
If it hadn't missed, John would be a dead man.
And he has called for the reinforcements. 2 players ready to at least swing off of his contact. Dart is broken here and through John. Finally delivering the reset from Meteor.
Spot.
Yeah, and there it is, dropping him off here with an ult command. It's going to be sweeping through now. Dart around to the side. Texture is not watched for. This guy was already just fast up onto the line, and with all the util down, again, you might as well roll out the red carpet. Plant down now. Genji are ready. They've got the protocols in place just in case there are signs of that util. Meteor holding it tucked up close as well. There's no follow-up. Again, still up and over. Able to trade it. The door into their face and a full sight defense occurring here by Genji. Nobody looking to try and repurpose out through A main. Everybody locked onto the sights here, but the one way they choose to fight this one. They want to hold it down, and again, this retake is getting more and more difficult. Dart immediately dealt with. Time is ticking away. Sentinels running out of those options. Double up, high-low. Gonna try and push them back and away. Lakia, last one left, and he will fall in the end. So, just in time here for Sentinels, I believe.
Yeah, only about a second on the clock, though.
Whoa.
In a lot of these rounds here at Champs.
Zeken not caught in the transition there, just trying to exit out of Wine, and there's plenty more players where that came from. Genji, we're going to try and go into this one. Fast tempo, increase 10s, taken out. Zeken followed up to trade in sight. Only gets the one down, which was Texture. Dart revealing quite a few of them. Locked down by Meteor. This is unconventional.
I like it, though. You know, we saw Sentinels before get 3 detained and still win the round. They're in a 3v4 situation here, though, and this should allow a great plan. I mean, this one also planted for short. If they wanted to send somebody on a wraparound,
very heads up.
Perhaps Lakia is going to take that option.
Right here. Deploying
Comes
drone.
around here. Drone's going to be used again. Set that stage here. Tag up. Got to remove it. It's first piece of util for it, but Genji. Stalwart defense that they've really cooked up here now that they've at least taken control of the site. Look at that. As soon as they hear the footsteps and the util, it's a Dart and Spam out from below, and already the players have repositioned. Spike is ticking away, and Sentinels realize it. Has to be that save, have to back away.
One enemy remaining.
How many rounds do Sentinels need, even if they were able to get pistol, their first of the match, and be able to carry some momentum forwards on their attack half? I think...
Shot missing. John now with the barrier mesh. Looking to lock him out of this spot here, but it will be spammed down. There's a nade in sight, but no smoke for the cross. Only popped down a little bit too late there, so Zeken happy to pick them apart. 10's ADS up. Can't quite manage it. I mean, it's Caron.
And the stun does nothing in A main.
Push them back and away. Genji slowing it down, getting quirky with these timings. There's a stun. They can hear the sensors. Texture removes one of them. So much uncertainty, rapid into their heads. They spot the player, Texture's shoulder just peeking out, and yet still squares up to it. The challenge is met. And now drop down onto the site. Options thoroughly opened. Genji having to take their timing with it. You can look at the peak timing, but still missing with the shot as well. He can't quite do it. Has to pull out a shorty. Zeken, not a chance. Doesn't stand it. And leaves it to just 2. Munchkin is low. Could be an opening. Lakia will fall.
This
Stinger
is
movement in play.
So doable for Sentinels. The health advantage is massive.
Now picking up the upgrade too with a rifle. Cam should be clearing at least a portion of it, but you don't know there's blind spots. Munchkin peeks. They know where he is. 4 seconds until the dart. Spamming away into hell. just in case that reposition is there. That round towards the back, they spot the main player out, they're all falling low, and again it has to be Munchkin as that playmaker finds the one. Peak in timing, off of it, only 5 bullets left, but a tap from Sassy as well. It's all so unlikely for him, and he needs to hit the second. Time ticking, forced to stick it, and time not enough on Sen's side.
Go up. Happy to play retake.
Yeah.
Against this comp, though, I don't think they should be too happy to play retake. You're going to be running into, Gravnet, trips, stuns.
Fernando, the util, is going to be lacking ever so slightly onto the pistol. Zelsis forced to lock down. Watch this flank angle. Just gets barely the 2 shots off. Not enough to drop Charon. So the trade is there, but Zekken taking a cheeky peek. Up through heaven, clears that one out, and now has to be aware that there is that flank occurring. Watchful eyes perched up. Probably a high-low as well, and the smoke make it nice and easy. Charon trying to at least split up the site. Create that timing and opening for Meteor, potentially there. He's already out though, and the players are straight through and out. The whiff might cost them still. Dart forwards, forces the issue out of texture, and they do clean it.
Take a main, throw down a sonic sensor, take a little bit of extra space, put your trip into position or something.
That's a fight to be taken here. Nader defeat though. Has to push them back in a way, at least with the rifle spam. Able to take down another of these Gen G players, but he might have just done enough damage. Still, weapons are going to be exchanged, making sure that there's no waste.
And any Gen G pushes on other parts of the map should be able to be identified. You're always going to be running into a trip or a cam or somebody watching the flank.
Okay,
what is that timing?
Pure instinct from Charon, and he's TP'd in and away. There's a slight gap.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, he's caught.
You're stuck.
It's still Sentinels choose not to commit. I think they've seen enough bodies there, signs of life from Gen G, that they call this pause. They do have 45 seconds. You can't let anything else slip, though, if you are Sentinels. It's a 3v3 in a crossfire setup. Baiting the shots, Charon's there, Meteor alongside it. Do not lose this one, Sentinels. Your best chance in a bloody long time, and you gotta clean it up. Lakia left alone. 20 seconds, still they don't know where this guy is, but the door's gonna be closing. Nobody stepping past it, just spots defeat. Breaking the door, trying to take the fight. It's a little bit uncertain. Oh, Gen G are kind of aware of this one. Munchkin, it's an off angle and he's got to deliver. Will do with the first. Occasion his face, preemptive spam will lay claim to a multitude of kills. And it leaves it just down to 10s, up and over, not enough. 2 players ready to meet them. Gen G tucked up to crossfire setup. Logs to the corner, Lakia has to do a lot here. It's running and gunning to trade it up, but they weren't expecting, and again Meteor delivers. To death blow, and it might just be an around winning moment. Charon still locks it up here. That spam being offloaded. Texture does manage to at least get 2, but it's even out and it has handed guns over.
Yeah, that's a major win for Sentinels.
Munchkin, there's a drone in his face. It's not being watched. Into the smoke. The awareness is off the charts. He doesn't go for the easy kill, but now he knows the 10s is lurking. Not long for. He's hiding from it. Again, sowing misinformation. Shot missed though, Hunter's Fury. This feels like it's quite a committed push. And damage done, even a kill for Sassy, maybe enough to pave the way. It calls for that reinforcement. Charon instantly TPs.
Very good ult from Sassy. Very good read to now go for an A-split.
They've pulled these players apart, but Munchkin again could be that thorn in their side. Once more, weapon glowing. This guy is on fire. Gravnet gets that confirmation potentially there. Flood defending in, right through the back. Annihilation and clearing in and through. Sentinels do have the necessary plays. You don't want to be handing Charon too many more, though. They're doubled up holding this one, side by side. Bit of spam hailing down the lead, so Zekken's holding to pixel angle. Oh, but no! Just missed it. The crossover texture takes it away. Charon, heavy committed now into bottom mid. He needs to be defended and he needs some help to get out of here. That's what the drone is for. Up and over. Right here. Clears the path.
When Lakia and Karen are willing to be that aggressive, it allows Texture to do this.
This is not potentially getting cleared off. Angle traded. But again, reinforcements are there, out through the back of the side. That's 10s committing! Charon! He dominates the smoke! He will not be stopped. And a bounce! They have not slowed down a beat. Up and over. Blazestorm in the hands. Texture is releasing. Just absolutely unbelievable form.
I can't use that.
Sentinels left to stew and simmer.
Knives back out though for Zekken.
Munchkin will fade away. Now Zauber back to the wall. Texture reveals his position. 3 left available to work with. Blinded up Meteor. He spots it, betrayed by the barrel. A 2-0 finish. Gen G